Topping our lineup here on The Now, and a lot of us can relate to this one. Burnout is now officially getting recognized as a mental health concern. The signs that you need to be looking for and what one major industry is doing already to try and reduce it. And businesses could start getting a tax break for helping their workers pay off student loans. We found some companies are not waiting for that help. And we're also going to introduce you today to a business that looks to help treat people through touch.
Thank you, Chris. This is The Now Indy on RTV6. I'm Amanda Starantino. The former director of Indy's animal shelter is in hot water once again, this time in Colorado. Doug Ray is facing accusations of using expired euthanasia medications, inhumane treatment of animals, and putting the public in danger. Call 6 Investigates' Kara Kenny joins us now with why workers are so concerned.
Indianapolis has worked hard to improve animal welfare over the past decade, including since the firing of shelter director Doug Ray in 2009. Our station in Denver says Ray is working in Colorado and causing controversy once again. In 2009, RTV6 told you Doug Ray was fired from Indianapolis Animal Care and Control. He faced criticism in Indy for putting public safety at risk, pulling animal control officers off the street to work inside the kennel, and impounding fewer dogs. Ray is known for his focus on no kill, but former workers and volunteers at the Humane Society of Fremont County in Colorado say Ray's no kill goal resulted in dogs suffering.
When I worked there for that 7 months, I saw the most horrible things. I saw dogs go crazy in their kennels.
They say their director, Doug Ray, allowed a dog with a bite history to be adopted into a family with a young child who ended up with 40 stitches.
It shouldn't have happened. We should have stopped that. It could have been stopped.
Employees told my Scripps colleague, Tony Kovaleski, that Ray encouraged employees to use outdated, expired euthanizing medication.
We only had expired euthanasia drugs.
Expired by a couple days?
It was expired by, I think, 3 or 4 years.
Serious accusations that were all confirmed last month. State inspectors found more than a half a dozen violations inside the Humane Society of Fremont County. Kennels not properly disinfected, dogs with bite histories allowed in public areas, and the use of expired medications. Doug Ray took responsibility for the shelter's problems.
It's my fault. It is 100. I said to my board, this is 100% my fault. I should have been all over this, and I wasn't.
Indianapolis has been through 7 directors and interim shelter directors since Ray left. Kara Kenny, RTV6.
Thanks, Kara. And Doug Ray is still employed at the Humane Society in Colorado. Kyle?
Let's take a look around central Indiana, and you see some clouds. You don't see the rain right there, but we do have some communities that are dealing with thunderstorms, and some of those are on the strong side. So let's take you in for a closer view on Storm Team 6 radar. These are not strong. We've just got some showers here from around Lebanon and southern portions of Boone County. Stronger storm, though, northeast side of Lafayette. This one going to continue to track between Delphi and near Rossville. You can see some of the hail pulsing up here, indicating could have over 1-inch diameter hail with that storm. Another batch of some showers here between Logansport and Peru moving to the east. And then in Grant County, south of Marion, another strong storm. Have some reports around Gas City of some home and tree damage there. Another thunderstorm just moving out of Hartford City. So we'll continue with a few storms this evening. Those temperatures in the 70s through 8 o'clock. Chris?
Severe weather continues to take its toll in parts of the United States. In Oklahoma, the Cimarron River is rising, flooding, tearing away at the land around it, and it's forcing homes to just crumble into the water. This is happening in the town of Twin Lakes, which is about an hour outside of Oklahoma City, and people living there can only watch as the river takes their homes.
It's chaos out here. We knew that it eroded, but we didn't know that it fell off in house-sized pieces.
You know everybody, and it's just hard. I mean, it literally took my breath away again, all over again. It's like, wow, this is what it is, and this is the new normal.
Now, so far, the river's destroyed at least 10 homes. Now, in Iowa, some people along the Mississippi River have been dealing with flooding for the past 58 days. Yeah, let me say that again, 58 days straight. Now, this neighborhood is located in Pleasant Valley. It's about an hour from Iowa City, and despite the problems, people are staying positive.
You walk in your front door, it's a regular house. You walk out your back door, you're living in a national park. How many people can say that?
Now, Iowa's governors issued a disaster proclamation for 10 counties following widespread severe weather. The conversation over safety at baseball games, it has started again after a young girl was hit in Houston on Wednesday. Chicago Cubs outfielder Alberta Mora fouling a ball into the seats along the third base line. The girl quickly taken away. She was conscious at the time. Mora, though, just visibly shaken after the incident, and he talked to reporters after the game.
God willing, I'll be able to have a relationship with this little girl for the rest of my life. But just prayers right now. That's all I really can control.
Yeah, in 2015, Major League Baseball mandated teams extend protective netting. By February of last year, all teams had exceeded the required distance, extending the netting behind the dugout. Now, after this latest incident, some players, they want nets installed even farther. The MLB says it is looking into the issue. Well, the French Senate says Notre Dame must be restored to exactly what it was before the fire. Now, there is debate between those who want restoration and others who want an upgraded cathedral. The goal is for work to be done before the Paris Summer Games in 2024. All right, let's get back to our lineup here. And burnout is a real concern for so many people. And now the World Health Organization is starting to recognize that. Coming up, how one group is taking action to reduce the workplace stress.
The lift to an entire community.
Welcome back to the Now Indy on RTV6. The search is on for a puppy thief in Johnson County, and the Sheriff's Department hopes you can help find that person. These two pit bull puppies were stolen from their mother sometime this past Saturday from the Humane Society of Johnson County. The Sheriff's Office says someone went into the building through the outdoor kennel before taking them. One of the puppies is a blue and white female. The other is a tan male with a black dot on his tail. If you know where these puppies might be, call the Johnson County Sheriff's Office at 317-346-4654.
44% of people say they feel burned out sometimes. That's according to a Gallup survey. Well, now burnout is an official medical diagnosis, and Kamasi Aaron takes a closer look.
What do you have coming in next?
It's calm right now in the critical care unit at Swedish Medical Center.
Okay.
But at any moment, that can change.
People, major car crashes, cardiac arrests, people that have just had open heart surgery, pretty major things. We bring people back to life.
Emily Belfour says it's amazing, but also challenging.
The families are very emotional, and so you kind of take on some of that stress as a secondary type trauma.
That's why she decided to start a group for her team to debrief together after a traumatic event. They express feelings and emotions and learn coping strategies to deal with stress. The goal, to prevent burnout.
There's kind of like a 4 or 5 year mark in nursing where people either can deal with the burnout, they learn coping mechanisms, or they find a different job.
The World Health Organization now recognizes burnout as an occupational phenomenon. It's described as a syndrome resulting from chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. The organization says there are 3 symptoms: feeling depleted or of energy or exhausted, feeling mentally distanced from or cynical about your job, and problems getting your job done successfully.
And it's something that we don't want to just ignore.
Dr. Monique Butler is Chief Medical Officer at Swedish and says burnout can take a toll on your health.
It can cause a number of different additional symptoms, including chest pain, shortness of breath, and it could really manifest itself into physical symptoms.
She says it's important to acknowledge your symptoms, talk with someone you trust, even a professional if needed. Emily says it's made all the difference here.
And so it's kind of more of a team and more of a family than just you alone taking care of these challenging patients and dealing with this by yourself.
I'm Kamasi Aaron reporting.
Kamasi, thank you. Let's get back to our lineup. And look, the nerves are real for the kids who are spelling at the Scripps National Spelling Bee, but we're going to be taking a look at just how hard it can be for parents as well.
Working for you.
Your time to shop at Payless Shoe Source stores is running out. Right now, the chain is closed or is about to close 70% of its location. Liquidation sales will continue at 665 stores through June 28th. California, Florida, Texas, and New York have the most stores that will have liquidation sales. At the Scripps National Spelling Bee, nerves can get to parents just as much as the spellers. And Corey Rangel found a mom who had a hard time containing her emotion when her daughter was on stage.
12-year-old Lorena Andrade uses her cell phone as a distraction. As a shy sixth grader, taking the stage at the Scripps National Spelling Bee can be intimidating.
It was very nerve-wracking. But you're supposed to focus on the pronouncer and just spelling your word, but it's kind of hard to do that with everybody watching you.
But as nervous as Lorena gets, she has some competition in the audience.
I think I'm more nervous. I think that's like the joke around her school.
Lorena's mother, Jacqueline, has a hard time controlling her emotions. Pride can do that.
Talk about how proud you are of your pup.
You want to make me cry? I'm extremely proud of Lorena.
So when Lorena took the stage at the spelling bee and got her word, her mother held her breath and clung on to each letter, hoping for the best. When Lorena got the word right, you can almost feel that big sigh of relief, followed by those pesky but proud tears. For Lorena, making it to the next round means another pep talk with Mom.
Most of the time it's just me like, it's okay, Mom, I got this, I can do it.
Regardless if Lorena takes home the trophy, she's already the definition of a winner in her mother's eyes.
It is a very big honor, and to me, she's made it. Like, to me, she's already a champion.
I'm Corey Rangel reporting.
From 1848 to 1994, the land at West Washington Street and North Tibbs Avenue on Indianapolis' west side was home to Central State Hospital. After the state closed the psychiatric treatment hospital, most of the land sat vacant. That's no longer the case. In recent years, the Central State property has been redeveloped for housing and other uses. And today, ribbon-cutting ceremony marks the opening of the latest development, the townhomes at 58 Bar. These townhomes start at $179,000. The 58 Bar development will eventually include restaurants, a brewery, park areas, and walking trails. Taking a live look now at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Look at the scoring pylon. IMS lit it up in honor of RTV6's 70th anniversary, which is today. So tonight, we hope you will join us to celebrate and share in even more memories. Clyde Lee and Dion Willis will host a one-hour special called 70 Years Together, RTV6 Working for You. That's tonight at 7 p.m.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's been fun to look back through the history of the station, and a lot of that video you'll get to see tonight. Out there this afternoon, we're seeing dry conditions in Indianapolis, Kokomo now after having some rain earlier, in Bloomington at 77. But we do have some showers and thunderstorms. Even have had some reports as the storms move through the Lafayette area of about a 1/4 to 1/2 inch diameter hail. You can see some of these showers developing on the north side of Indianapolis. Nothing strong or severe here, and those do extend just south of Lebanon in southern Boone County. But really, it's this line that's just north of Frankfort, stretching through portions of Howard County and then into Hartford City. Once again, you're going to get another thunderstorm here. That's the line of stronger storms for us right now. Gradually, that will slide to the south, and by 11 o'clock tonight along I-70, we'll be dealing with some of those thunderstorms still. Into the overnight, it should move on out of here, and tomorrow's looking a whole lot better than the last several days because we don't have any rain chances in the Friday forecast. Temperatures will make their way into the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. On Saturday, we start off dry. Temperature 76 degrees for you at 11 a.m., so the first half of your day, it's going to be the better outdoor hours for us because as we get into the afternoon and evening, we already have a chance for some showers and storms back into the forecast with temperatures around 80 degrees. And we'll be watching. Some of those could be on the stronger side for you Saturday afternoon. Next 4 days of the forecast, though, looking pretty good here. 3 of the next 4 are dry. Chris?
Well, let's start the Now News feed with an important recall here that Target is recalling these $15 charging cables. The government's telling people to stop using the 3-foot-long USB lightning cables immediately. They could either shock you or they could start a fire. Well, space is becoming a crowded place. Experts say it is less expensive these days to launch a satellite into orbit, so there are now some concerns that one day it could be so crowded up there that satellites would be running into each other. SpaceX launched 60 satellites into orbit just last week. Well, if you have a fitness tracker, many times 10,000 steps is kind of the default daily goal for a lot of these. But researchers at Brigham and Women's Hospital say that's actually more than twice the amount you need to see a health boost. Their study found that women who took 4,400 steps a day saw a boost in life longevity. Google is cracking down on apps that help facilitate the sale of marijuana. The changes target apps that allow people to order marijuana and then schedule it to be delivered or picked up. Google's also saying no to apps that help sell any products that contain THC. Now, some of the bigger apps that this impacts are pushing back in hopes that Google changes its mind. You could soon see alcohol at Family Dollar stores near you because the chain's parent company, Dollar Tree, is adding the option to 1,000 locations in an effort to improve business. Now, it's also going to expand freezers and coolers at 400 locations. General Motors is the target of an investigation by a federal highway safety agency. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is looking into whether a recall from 5 years ago actually fixed an issue with seat belts. Now, the recall was for more than 1 million vehicles. They included the Chevy Traverse, Buick Enclave, GMC Acadia, and Saturn Outlook SUVs, model years 2009 to 2014. The government's received 4 complaints that the seatbelt fix did not work. We're going to be honest, this next story, it sounds a bit strange. Hiring a professional cuddler for therapeutic physical interaction. But there are several websites that actually offer services surrounding what they call platonic touch. Our Chris Welch met with a cuddlist and her client to find out what this service is really all about.
Hey, come on in.
The moment she enters this space,
Good. Would you like a hug? I would like a hug.
Erica Bonzer feels relaxed. But it's not the spa-like atmosphere that does it. She's here to be professionally, platonically touched.
So how would you like to receive touch?
Maybe we could do like a forward-facing hug. I didn't realize I needed touch until I started going to therapy and realizing how much anxiety I live with every day.
Would you like me to rub your arm? Yes, please.
It's consent-based physical interaction. Cressida Crow is a trained cuddler with Cuddlist.com.
Is biological. We need touch. Yeah, we're wired for it.
Crow fell into the job when she realized she wasn't getting enough touch in her life.
Why isn't there an app for holding someone's hand or watching a movie, you know, arm to arm, or holding each other in, you know, a non-sexual way?
There's a rigid code of conduct.
That if I feel uncomfortable in any way with a hold or any type of touch or conversation or emotionally, I'm going to let you know.
Over the course of an hour, the two move through various positions.
Can I put my hand on your chest?
Yes.
And yes, they spoon.
Can I be the small spin?
Yes.
For Bonzer, this was not something that initially sounded like a good idea.
Because I know what it's like to have touch be forced on you or myself. And so I would say I'm touch averse.
But after that first session, her anxiety was gone.
I almost felt a weight lifted off of me, and I felt like I took the best nap of my life. I felt like I just went on vacation, and I had this ease about me.
For Crow, this is finally a job where she feels she's having a real human impact.
I love it because I'm providing something that people need. Connection.
In Golden, Colorado, I'm Chris Welch reporting.
All right, Chris, thank you. And finally in our lineup today, student loan debt is a more than $1 trillion problem here in the United States. Now businesses could soon get some extra incentive to help their workers with their loans. We're going to check out how this is already working out at some companies.